All right, welcome. Thank you all so much. Today is December 10th, 2025, and as you know, we are here for a regular City Commission meeting, but like I often like to say, it's never a regular meeting because there's always important and fun items that we have the opportunity to consider here at the City Commission. And so at the start of each meeting, we begin with a moment of silence. So as you rise today for the moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, please keep in mind any special someone that may have been lost in the recent past that you might want to think of. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Thank you all. An important moment we also take at the start of each commission meeting is to recognize our veterans, active service personnel, and their families. So if you are a veteran of the U.S. Armed Forces or active member or a family member thereof, please rise. We'd love to recognize you. Thank you. All right, roll call, please, clerk.
Commissioner Colari.
Here.
Commissioner Gruber.
Here.
Commissioner Biederman.
Here.
Vice Mayor Quintana.
Here.
Commissioner Shuham.
Here.
Commissioner Hernandez.
Here.
Mayor Levy.
Here. All right, today's consent agenda includes items 5 through 22. These are items that don't usually require individual discussion. However, if a member of the commission or the public wishes for us to speak to an item specifically, we're happy to remove it for discussion later in the meeting. Pat, are there any speaker cards on 5 through 22
No cards.
from the body? I'll accept the motion then.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion from Commissioner Colari and a second from Commissioner Hernandez to pass the consent agenda, items 5 through 22. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, those items carry unanimously. All right, on to our 1:15 times certain item. It is not 1:15 just yet, clerk. So we're going to skip 23. We're going to skip 24 because it's a 1:30. Let's head over into our regular agenda. Is Clive Taylor here yet?
Not yet.
All right. I'll hold 25. I know Clive wanted to be here for this. So let's go ahead then to item 26. A resolution of the City Commission authorizing the city to bind renewal policies for our municipal and utility property and marina storage tank liability insurance policies, an amount not to exceed $2.7 million in change. This, of course, is always handled very professionally and thoroughly by our Office of Human Resources. Pat, is there a speaker card on 26?
No cards.
Motion to approve.
Second.
That was so close. That was like like picture photo finish. Motion by Commissioner Hernandez, second by Commissioner Colari to approve item 26. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, those items that.
For
ahead,
the
Peter.
residents to realize, this insurance actually received a
reduction.
A reduction based on an increase.
Yep. So let's go ahead then to item 27, a resolution of the City Commission authorizing the city to execute a construction management at risk Phase 2 construction services agreement with Lebolo Construction Management to provide construction management at risk services for the Johnson Street Bridge and Sherman Street Bridge repairs projects for a total guaranteed maximum price in an amount up to $4.3 million and change. I see Jose here with Design and Construction Management. Did you want to speak on this, Jose?
Yes, good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioner, City Manager, and City Attorney. Just give you a quick update on the 4 bridges and the item in front of you today. So if you go to the, I have it here, hold on. Go to the next slide. Very good. So the item that is in front of you today is for a guaranteed maximum price for 2 bridges. It's the Johnson Street Bridge and the Sherman Street Bridge. The Johnson Street includes repairs to the project, and the scope of work on that bridge has been significantly reduced only to those repairs that are extremely necessary to get to the point where the bridge will be fully replaced in the future. So the amount for that component of the GMP is $687,000. $697,000. The rest of the money on this GMP is for the Sherman Bridge. That includes obviously a lot of other repairs and concrete repairs, and a lot of this is as a result of the FDOT recommendations to keep the bridges operating. One thing that we are doing, and I think I have another slide here. This is a team, it's Levolo. They've done significant amount of work for the city in the past, other projects, and we have a lot of confidence in the work that they're going to be doing for the city. Just to give you a little bit of breakdown on the numbers and the GMP so that you all kind of see what's here. If you look at, the direct cost of work, that includes everything necessary to do the work and the repairs. We have the general conditions, general requirements, all the fee. But when you're going to see here that there's a construction contingency for $131,000. That construction contingency is the one that is required for the two bridges. So those two bridges will have, it's actually a 5% construction contingency. We are carrying a 15% contingency on our side. But because there are 4 bridges, we only have money to do those 2 first. So what we're asking from the City Commission is that we add, there's another allowance contingency of $680, and that's the remainder of the amount of money we have for the bridges that is allocated. In the event that we don't spend any of the contractor contingency and owner contingency on the first 2 bridges, we might be able to move forward with them to do the next repair of the next bridge. That's kind of why and how it's structured. So we already have GMPs for the other 2, but the amount of money we have right now is not enough to carry it. And the challenge with these bridges is that if you do 2, even though we're kind of close to be able to have another GMP, if something is outside of what we're expecting to be in any of the bridges, we don't want to be short on money and then not being able to finish and then have 3 bridges at the same time and short on money. So we want to do the first 2 that are the highest priority, then we'll move to the next one. And I think we'll be kind of close. We're almost close that if we don't end up spending any of the owner contingency and the contractor contingency, that we should be able to do another bridge. So that's kind of what the item is all about. I'll give you all a little bit about the schedule in here. So with regards to the schedule, and those numbers are kind of small, but yeah, what you see is that there's about 7 months for the construction of the Sherman Bridge. It's kind of the longer duration schedule. And then about a month for just the Johnson Bridge element. And on the Johnson Bridge, we're doing one pedestrian bridge, which is actually closed right now. It's going to be a wooden bridge on that one. It was way too expensive. We looked at options to rent a bridge, get a different kind of setup to have something more economical. The cost was pretty much similar than if we were going to do it on wood. So that's kind of basically what it is the bridge and the repairs. And that's about a month. And that's kind of, I think, all I had for the item.
Are there any speaker cards on 27?
No cards.
No cards. We have a motion for Commissioner Clary, a second from Vice Mayor Quintana. Commissioner Hernandez.
Thank you, Mayor. Jose, I got a question. The Johnson Street Bridge, is it still going to carry a weight restriction?
What was that?
Is it still going to have a weight restriction on it? It currently has weight restriction, Johnson Street. Even after the repairs, is it still going to have a weight restriction?
For now, we're going to keep the bridge, and I'll probably reach out to engineering, but right now, the bridge repairs will keep the bridge with the existing parameters on weight restrictions it has right now. The new one, I don't have details for that.
Okay, and also the pathway that you're looking to do, rather than wood, have you guys considered aluminum gangways? You actually have the similar bridge, but with aluminum. They do that for access and egress and ingress to boats. It has 3 feet or 4 feet wide and expand the length of the canal, rather than to do it with wood.
You mean for the temporary? So the bridge is going to be on the south side of the repairs. That bridge is going to be temporary until the final bridge gets done, which you will get a new bridge at the end of the project when the bridge gets finished in 2027.
I don't know if the pathway that you're going to be doing, the walkway that you're going to be doing, you said you're going to be doing that in wood, correct?
Yes, on the south side.
Did you guys consider doing out of an aluminum gangway? In other words, a 4 foot wide and the length of the expand in aluminum rather than wood.
They looked at both options. Still, gangways, they all kind of looked at the same. I can probably ask Heather. I know we went through the exercise of doing did we look at gangways and stuff? I know we got temporary bridges.
So we need to maintain the existing.
Come over.
Heather, come on up. Heather, welcome, but obviously,
Thank you, Mayor.
I know you make Jose look good all the time
Vice Mayor, Commissioners.
with your
Thank you
work,
very
of
much.
course.
Heather Gano, Senior Project Manager with Design and Construction Management. We looked at a number of options. We are working with the available support structure of the existing bridge. So because it's an existing bridge, we cannot significantly change the way that the pedestrian bridge is attached. So we're putting back pretty much exactly what's there today because that is what the existing bridge can accept. And we also need to maintain an adequate width because we're going to have two-way pedestrian traffic using that bridge until the new bridge is constructed.
And the reason that I mentioned that is because aluminum is usually lighter, and you can do it the same width that you currently have, and it's longer lasting than wood. Just food for thought.
We can look it up.
May cost a little more, but it may last longer.
I know, look beautiful too. Aluminum is always nice.
Yeah,
We'll bring it up and talk it over with Lebolo, and for sure we'll get that analysis.
okay. If,
Very good.
To amend the motion to So can I
Go ahead.
amend the motion?
Let me activate your mic. Go ahead.
Amend the motion to approve with
Consideration of aluminum.
consideration of aluminum walkway.
Very good.
Great, thank you.
And the seconder, I think that was you. Okay. All right. Commissioner Biederman.
So I got a little confused about the repairs versus the complete replacement and the timelines, because I was under the impression that the state and Memorial were paying for a brand-new bridge. Is that not the case now, that we're like putting it off?
No, this item is, go ahead, Mayor.
No, you please, whoever wants to, Adam or,
I don't think Memorial is paying.
This item is exclusively for the repairs component to make sure that the bridge is still operable while the final construction of the other.
so let me
project is
just
done.
clarify.
Yeah.
What we're doing today on Johnson is the pedestrian, let's call it sidewalk of the bridge.
Right.
And that the appropriation from the state is for the actual bridge structure itself for the vehicles.
Yes.
Adam?
That's correct. It was a $950,000 state appropriation.
So is it taking too long to get the whole thing replaced, that way in a rush to try and do a temporary repair or something?
They want the walkway to be safer in the meantime. And my understanding is that the new walkway will be attached to the fixed bridge
Once it's done.
once it's fixed.
Yes, and right now the existing one is closed, so people have to have a way to get through Johnson Street because it's in
Okay.
such a disrepair that
Right.
this has to be done to
Used
make
to be a
sure
fun obstacle course on the bike. I want to let you know.
Yes, kind of.
Okay.
Testing my balance. All right, sounds good. Thank you so much. We have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the item carries unanimously.
Very good.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Heather. Thank you, Jose.
Clive is here.
Clive, welcome. Let's take up item 25. This is a resolution of the City Commission co-naming North 46th Avenue from Sheridan Street to Sterling Road as William D. Horvitz Avenue. I want to give a little bit of background. So when I proposed this co-naming at a recent City Commission meeting that everyone embraced, and we had an opportunity to hear the neighborhood's summary in the neighborhood master plans, and it gave us the history of course, Hollywood Inc. and the Horvitz family and the important role they played in Emerald Hills and Hollywood Hills and beyond. But it was actually Clive Taylor's article years and years ago in the Hollywood Gazette that mentioned to all of us that there was a big second father figure, as Clive called it, of the city of Hollywood after Joe Young was really Sam Horvitz, who we all know the story of Sam taking legal ownership of much of Hollywood in bankruptcy after Joe Young's financial fortunes had failed, and he couldn't pay the paving and works that Hollywood Inc. had done for him. And so in the end, the court awarded the property to Mr. Horvitz. And then, as history has it, his son, Bill, officially William, of course, continued that work and really fought to have the neighborhoods that were built there be at the quality level that they are still today, 60, 70 years later. And so, Clive, thank you. I know you wanted to be here for this item. I'm happy to have you speak to it. Clive, as we all know, is our resident historian, unofficially official here in the city of Hollywood, former president of the Historical Society.
Still president.
Still president?
Yep.
See that, Adele?
I'm counting the days.
She led me wrong.
Not that there's anything wrong, it's just time to move on.
Yeah.
That's okay. I got it. I got a month.
But
you
welcome.
know.
I knew that you had been talking with David Horowitz, Bill's son, and I know this is special for you, and you found it very commemorative. So welcome.
Yes, I did, and it's so apropos of the centennial to look back and see this person, entity, and family, and that's what they are. You're talking about Hollywood Inc. So now we're in a day and age. You say Hollywood Inc. to a Hollywoodian, and they're like, "What's that?" It's like Hollywood bread. We forgot, and it's a very important chapter of our history because, like you stated, he really picked up the reins where Joseph Young left off, and he could have done it any other way because they own 25,000 lots. That's what they got. And there was no other bidders, by the way. It went into foreclosure. He was the only bidder. And there was a lot of contention between the city and this new entity because everybody loved Joe Young so much, and now one person owns all of this, and for many years, nothing happened with this land that they owned. Meanwhile, Fort Lauderdale's building, Miami's building, and people are like, why didn't they build? Well, they inherited debt. They inherited tax liens. They inherited murky titles. This was a mess. So they stuck with it, and it took a long time. And by the time, they started to sort things out, there was, well, hurry up and build. And they even suggested the city and other entities, why don't you just build low-income houses? And they never did. They kept the original blueprint that you see from 1923, that beautiful layout of Hollywood Hills where those roads arch out into the final circle. And they, need to be commended for that because they kept the dream alive where the dream was almost killed. So they're a very important family, and nobody really knows the Horowitz or the Hollywood Inc. name, and I'm glad that we're doing this now because it is the right time and the right place. So thank you, and that article opened my eyes too because growing up I just knew Hollywood Inc., but I didn't know the whole story. And when you dig into there and you see the whole story, and Bill Horowitz carrying it on when his father left. He was a very involved citizen too and donated to a lot of organizations and supported organizations. So I said in the article, it's like the second father of Hollywood, and I stand by it today.
Nice.
And thank you for that. Okay.
Yesterday, I had an opportunity to speak with Bruce Gottlieb, who we've recently honored their family as a Marvin Gottlieb Avenue co-name for the southern part of 46th Avenue, and I had asked him about the Horowitz family, and he said that Bill Horowitz and the Horowitz family had played a crucial role in giving Marvin Gottlieb the opportunity to begin building, and they were selective on who they'd even allow to purchase lots and build because they wanted to make sure it was quality,
Right.
Quality construction.
Nice.
That contractors that were selected to even be able to purchase a lot and build, and so much so that Bruce had reflected that Hollywood Inc. didn't allow people to purchase multiple blocks or a whole block. They wanted the houses to be different, have a variety of design, and not just cookie cutter.
Right.
And so they even went so far as to again not allow the cookie cutter.
And that speaks to Joseph Young. That's what he wanted. He wanted quality, and he wanted style, and he wanted architecture. And so kudos.
Yeah.
Amen.
Thank you.
All right, and with that, I'll accept a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Shuham, a second from Commissioner Coleri to approve item 25 and co-name North 46th Avenue from Sheridan to Sterling as William D. Horowitz Avenue. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. The item carries unanimously. And I know the city manager feels sentimental about this too. All right, it is now past 1:15, ladies and gentlemen. So let's take it back to our 1:15 times certain item, which is item 23. Clive, before you go, just a big thank you from all of us for your work and Andy's work in the Historical Society and your contributions to the Centennial. I really want to applaud you guys. Not just this year, but in many years past. Thank you so much. Item 23 is an ordinance of the City Commission, City of Hollywood, amending Section 36.29 of the Code of Ordinances entitled Enforcement Orders, Fines and Other Remedies, Rights of Appeal, to provide for a maximum one-time fine of up to $15,000 for certain code violations in accordance with Florida statutes, etc. This is a public hearing advertised in conformity to state statutes and city codes on second reading with no change since the first reading. I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing. Pat, are there any speaker cards?
Motion to approve.
No cards.
Public hearing is now closed. Motion from Commissioner Coleri to approve. Second from Commissioner Shuham. For anybody listening, this is for violations that are of the irreparable type that injure the city in some fashion, and we're allowing ourselves what Florida law allows us to do. And so, City Attorney, please read the ordinance, and we'll call the roll call vote.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Hollywood, Florida, amending Section 36.29 of the Code of Ordinances entitled Enforcement Orders, Fines and Other Remedies, Right of Appeal, to provide for a maximum one-time fine of up to $15,000 for certain violations in accordance with Florida Statute 162.09, subsection 2, subsection D, certain, and excluding such fines from being settled at a reduced amount.
Commissioner Kaleri.
Yes.
Commissioner Gruber.
Yes.
Commissioner Biederman.
Here. I mean, yes.
Vice Mayor Quintana.
Yes.
Commissioner Shuham.
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez.
Yes.
Mayor Levy.
Yes. All right. It is not quite 1:30, Madam Clerk. So we'll go ahead with, we're just rock and rolling through this agenda. Let's go to item 28. Item 28 is a resolution of the City Commission appointing a vice mayor for a one-year term. Pat, this is from the Office of City Clerk. Years ago, we adopted a policy to rotate the vice mayor in a more predictable and consistent fashion. And can you tell us what the results of that is? While we, of course, commemorate the beautiful year of service from Vice Mayor Quintana.
I'll make a motion to appoint Commissioner Kaleri as the vice mayor.
Second.
Second.
You didn't give Pat the chance to say that she was next in line.
He said it all for me. Thank you.
All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Biederman, a second from Commissioner Hernandez to appoint Commissioner Tracy Kaleri as vice mayor for a one-year term. It also being her final term of service here, so I really feel great about that. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the item carries unanimously. I'd like to invite Vice Mayor Quintana to say a few parting words as vice mayor and pass the baton.
Do I have to move to that seat?
That was just going to ask that same question, and you don't even need to move seats because you're already next to the mayor. What a great privilege it's been to be the person when the mayor is not available. He's always available, but when the mayor is not available, to be the person who's representing our city before the public. And I took it very seriously. And I will give up my parking spot and my seat and gladly hand over the duties over to Commissioner Kaleri, who I know will do a beautiful job as our vice mayor.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all. It is it 1:30 yet, City Clerk?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Because it's automatic.
Helen, did you want to speak on that? I saw Helen stand up and Commissioner, on the Vice Mayor now? Okay,
Nameplates and all that.
She's here for one.
24, okay. All right, so let's go to our 1:30 item real quick, since that is the last one before the 4 o'clock item.
Okay, yeah.
Let me shuffle back here.
How come they're not here?
There we go. All right, item 24 is a resolution of the City Commission, City of Hollywood, making findings and designating as a brownfield area real properties located at 826 South Dixie Highway and 2115 Washington Street, as described in the agenda, to be known as the HTG Paramount Green Reuse Area for the purpose of rehab, job creation, promoting economic redevelopment, authorizing the city to notify DEP, FDEP of the designation. This is an advertised public hearing that obviously is a follow-up to the previous action we've taken to designate this property as a brownfield in order to accelerate its remediation and make way for that beautiful senior living facility that we've all approved and made happen actually through the pursuit of this property in a much better condition than it is from the previous uses, that's for sure. Pat, are there any speaker cards on 24?
No cards.
Helen would like to speak. Come on up, Helen. Come on up.
This one.
Because I thought you were coming here for the 4 o'clock meeting, probably.
No, come
No,
on.
come on up,
Come
Helen.
on
Come on up.
Don't worry about it.
Be nice.
He's not nice today.
Good afternoon,
Mayor, Commissioners, congratulations, kid. Listen, I'm here. Once again, I'm here. Ruba, you're going home. Right to that seat.
Actually, Gruber's going to the right, Vice Mayor is over here, and Idelma's going home.
It's another way of putting it. Anyway, listen, I'm here today on behalf of this 24th. I know that we've worked on this for a long, long time. I know what has to be done. The area will be upgraded, but I want to make an emphasis on, again, connecting with the people. What really concerns me is that when we came here before, we wanted to know about the senior citizens' amenities, which was supposed to go where that great apartment was. I call it the Teresa Apartments. I don't think that my commissioner appreciates that, but that's okay. So that was going to be for the senior citizens. And now we have another big building going up on the corner. Here's my point. This was CRA property. Whenever that property was sold, in every manner that it was sold in, it was never shared with the people. And I think it was important because we kept coming up here saying, CRA, CRA. It wasn't a CRA. And we find out that it was sold. So now it's in different hands. The people who presented this before the brownfield was declared had a Zoom meeting with 13 residents in various associations, maybe even in districts. Not enough in my area for the people to know what was coming up. So I'm asking that whatever comes in the future on this project, that we, the people, somehow we got to make maybe a better effort, but so do these developers have to make a better effort with the people to not make a Zoom for 13 people in the size of my area. You need to have more people there because we hear about it after the fact. Nothing we can do about it. Once they check their paper and they did what they had to do, it's going to go that way. So I take this time to thank you for being there, and let's follow this very closely. It's through the pictures and the voices of some people that came up to express their concern about the brownfield. I want you to have a good holiday, and I thank you.
Helen,
Please listen.
Helen, I think-
Not to me, just listen.
Actually, I
Period.
want to commend you, Helen, because it was you coming here at CRA meetings years ago talking about the trouble with the triple B that really brought this item to the forefront. And now look, it's been purchased, and there's going to be a beautiful senior living. So you know what? Let's give Helen a round of applause because her speaking out was able to remove a blight from her neighborhood and resulting in new senior living. And so what a great result. And perfect segue, Commissioner Hernandez.
Thank you, Mayor. Actually, you're being kind when you called it Triple B. Helen used to call it the Dirty Bar. This is the corner that is being redeveloped, and HCG has a good track record to be able to actually provide to the people that are less fortunate. So, motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Motion for Commissioner Hernandez, second from Commissioner Coleri. Commissioner Shuham?
Yeah, Helen, I just wanted to ask Andrea. So first of all, thank you. I mean, you're an example of why it is so important to have civic associations because someone like you can come and represent the neighborhood, and that's what it's all about. But we do have verbiage in our planning and development ordinance that mandates, that the developer now reach out within so many yards, right, and now we have 2. But I was just going to say, Andrea, in this particular case, because Helen is so diligent, can we make sure that she personally also gets a copy of those developer notices so that there's no concern, and then she'll have the ability to rally the troops?
Andrea Winget, Director of Development Services. Happy to do that in any necessary cases. For this particular project, they have received their Planning and Development Board approval. They're in for permitting, and they actually just received their permit-ready letter.
Oh, great.
So they're moving along. I think
great.
they're getting ready to do their closings on some of their financials within probably the next week or so before the end of the year. And hopefully they'll be breaking ground soon.
Just want to make
Round of
sure,
applause for that,
you know,
actually.
she has the chance to,
I wanted to ask you, some of the neighbors that actually live on Washington Street and use the alley in order to park, I think we discussed this before, just let the developer know to be conscious of the fact that these people use the alley as a driveway in the back, see how they can work things out.
Understood, will do. We'll reach out to them.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Commissioner Kaleri?
And I don't know if it's possible, but I think it's been so successful where we've had these, with these major developments, where they have the coffee with the residents and just kind of update them and stuff. I don't know if we can implement that, but I think that that has just been a really great tool for communication. So I don't know how we can.
We can certainly ask.
You know, with someone like HTG, I think
Yeah.
they'll be happy to do like, community updates,
Yeah.
Agreed.
and let the
especially
commission
where it's a
well, I'd love to
We'll
go.
reach out to Ariel.
city-supported project, so.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, and Rodrigo, thank you.
Let's go ahead, Commissioner Bierman.
Real quick, Andrea, is this, I'm happy to see this is moving ahead so quickly, meaning, because it's very relatively recent that we pulled this together. Is this ahead of schedule of the one that's on the CRA property? The market rent one? Do we know
Not
if that's
familiar
even
with that one.
Adams
the one on
Street.
Adams Street that had the CRA property? So, I mean, Ray Lynn might know, is that like on a bookshelf somewhere, or is
That's
it?
privately owned, so do we know where they are at?
I can find out where they're at, and I'll let
It'd
the
be
commission
interesting.
know.
I'm just happy that this is moving ahead so quick.
Yeah, this has moved very quickly.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so the next item on our agenda is a 4 PM time certain item. It is 1:38. So let's go ahead to, I see Chris Albertelli here. Chris, are you here?
Excuse me, Mayor, on the item you didn't vote. We still needed to.
All right. On item 24, all those in, yep, on the brownfield designation, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the item carries unanimously. Chris, are you here for 5 PM? Yeah. Would you like to speak now? If it pleases. Oh, you wanted to wait? All right, I was going to give you an opportunity ahead of time since you were here early. All right, let's go ahead to, I'm sorry? Hey, did we get a response from Callan Castle yet, City Attorney?
No, we have not received a response at this time.
All right, please follow up with them right away.
Okay.
Thanks. Let's go ahead to comments by the City Commission, City Attorney, and City Manager. Commissioner Gruber, or unless you guys wanted to wait with this. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's just go ahead now. No, let's go ahead now. Commissioner Gruber.
Okay, just a few things. I did the walk last Saturday, the Alzheimer's awareness, what was it called? Alzheimer's, to cure Alzheimer's, to end Alzheimer's walk. Yeah, sorry. Drawing a blank here.
You were at End It.
And so, great turnout. And speaking with John Strader, who's been, a wealth of knowledge, and he recommended, and I'm going to look for support for this, that we start a senior affairs advisory board for, so if I can get support. Is that how that works with those boards? If I get support, we can start one? Yeah, okay. So if we can look into starting that, I think it's a great idea. One thing, I want to thank staff, Ricky, Jovan, and just from top to bottom, every different department. The Centennial Weekend was really amazing. Everyone stepped up and worked and went above and beyond. Pat, I think I saw you carrying like a pallet of cupcakes at one point, and I was like, is that Pat carrying 7 cases of cupcakes? But really, everyone put their heart and soul into it, and really, it was really nice. The whole weekend was amazing. The parade as well, it was great. The Channel 10 coverage was a nice surprise. I didn't realize they were broadcasting the whole thing. So when I went to click on their news story, I thought it was going to be one of those 10 seconds things. 45 minutes later, I'm still watching. But they did a great job, and to staff, again, great for setting it up. We have a couple of Hanukkah parties coming up through a couple of our synagogues. One is going to be the 10th annual sand sculpture menorah that we've been doing that Chabad of Ocean Drive does. That's on Thursday, December 18th at 4:30, where we have that sand sculpture menorah. There'll be some fireworks, kosher food, and that officially starts at 4:30, but they start building that sand sculpture, I think, sometime in the morning, so it's at the beach, swing by any time. Then Chabad of Emerald Hills is doing there's Monday night, the dreidel drop. They do a dreidel drop from a helicopter, and that's at Hollywood Hills High School, Monday night at 4:45. Lots of other stuff going on as well. Just want to wish everybody a happy, safe, happy holiday season.
Thank you, Commissioner Gruber. Let's go to Commissioner Biederman.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations to our new Vice Mayor, Commissioner Kaleri. So when our legislators go to Tallahassee, they file bills, good bills, bad bills, on a regular basis, and they don't always go through the first time or the second time or the third time. So I'm going to bring up an ordinance change for I don't know how many times, but I hope I get support and we can try and move this forward. I sent an email to the city attorney last night. Our residents continue to get code violations for having what we term as a commercial vehicle in residential neighborhoods, which some of us agree isn't necessarily fair. We've talked about it in the past. I had a resident come to Boulevard Heights last night with a code violation that he's an AC HVAC repairman, and he got a code violation because his van was in his driveway. I think we need to update our definition of a commercial vehicle. Maybe if we can align it with state DMV definitions of commercial vehicles. I also got an email from somebody else that was at the meeting supporting this change. I don't know that our ordinance had the intent of penalizing our hardworking residents with having a take-home vehicle in their driveway. Today's technology, people, all kinds of professions get their vehicles wrapped. Realtors, doctors, chiropractors, it's just a advertising, promotional thing for them. And I think that our ordinance definition is a little overreaching. I don't know if I have to go on, but if we
full
can
support.
Full
support.
Have staff change the definition of a commercial vehicle so
If we could just, Kevin, to give them.
code compliance officers are busy doing things that are more obtrusive than somebody that has a vehicle in their driveway.
Yeah, and just to clarify, to help give direction, in my mind, as you said, a commercial vehicle is more of a
Tractor trailer.
like a box truck or a heavy truck. Whether the designation is I forget there's categories of trucks.
Correct.
The gross vehicle weight rating, whatever it is, we're not talking. We don't want, I imagine, cargo vans, pickup trucks, any wrapped vehicles that are regular passenger vehicles. None of those light duty vehicles. In my mind, should be commercial, and it also takes into consideration, the reality that Commissioner Biederman's talking about, that, a lot of people are small business owners, and they don't have the luxury of leaving their work truck or vehicle at the office and taking a private car home just for the sake of that. So definitely yes from me.
Me too.
Appreciate you bringing that up, Kevin. Yep.
Thank you. I don't know that it needs a whole overhaul, maybe just, a line item here or there just to change, make it more simple for yourselves and for us to understand when it comes back.
Just the definition of the commercial vehicle.
Thank you.
We'll definitely work with code to address that.
Thank you. Nothing further. I think we had a great candy cane parade. Staff outdid themselves not only with the centennial celebration, but with the candy cane parade and the Channel 10, as was mentioned. Hopefully we can have Channel 10 or similar next year too. It is a perpetual tradition for our candy cane parade. We're celebrating 70 years next year, so very cool. I won't be here. Enjoy.
All right. Let's go to Vice Mayor still until we sign the resolution, Quintana. Where are you? Here you are. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple of announcements. One is December 19th. There's a food distribution scheduled at 11:30 a.m. at the Roe Fulkerson Masonic Lodge. That's on Glen Parkway, just south of Johnson Street and State Road 7. And so please spread the word for anyone who might be in need. They're having a food drive at that December 19th. On December 20th, we're having the 27th annual walkthrough toy distribution hosted by Community Enhancement Collaboration. December 20th. Families would have needed to register in advance, but I'm not sure if they still have any openings, but just letting folks know. I want to, just like has already been said by two of my colleagues, I just have to say how wonderful it was to see the Herculean efforts of our staff to put together 3 consecutive major events, the Christmas tree lighting event, which was extraordinaire, not just the typical Christmas tree lighting, followed very soon after the centennial celebration, which was spectacular. And right after that, the candy cane parade. I think the fact that all of the departments worked so collaboratively is what made that all be so excellent. I know everybody worked so hard. I could see that 110% effort, but I think the collaboration is what makes the difference, and just makes me very proud to see our employees do such a great job and represent our, we're just knocking it out of the ballpark, and I just wanted to make sure that I acknowledge that from here. I also want to ask Arlene if you would bring up a photo. I was also proud to be present at the Smart Growth Excellent Awards ceremony where Anand Balram presented the great works that are being done by our city's planning department, the efforts to the comprehensive 2050 plan that they have been so hard at work on, and just all the great young people bringing all that creativity to the future of our city, and seeing that presented to so many other planning professionals, and Hollywood being especially highlighted was another opportunity to feel proud of ourselves. So thank you to Anand and the team that was there to support this event. So, yes. And that's it for now. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everyone.
Yeah, great photo, by the way. All right.
Champagne glass.
Commissioner Shuham.
Thank you, Mayor. Just really, my notes are to wish everyone a very happy and healthy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and a 2026 filled only with happiness and good health to you and your families. Of course, I reiterate all the kudos to staff. I mentioned it in our agenda meeting yesterday that it just was, everything was just so well done, and a lot of credit to Joanne and her team. Obviously, Parks, and it's funny, Commissioner Gruber, that you mentioned Pat with the cupcakes, because in my notes, I have Ricky. And for the concert, I was back where I always sit for concerts at the Arts Park. So it was really back kind of in the thick of the crowd. And I look up, and there is our director of parks with a armful of cupcakes and like people grabbing. And it was just an unbelievable sight. So in my mind, Ricky handing out cupcakes. Also, I thought the documentary by Steve Sarsfield and the Hollywood Historical Society was phenomenal. I think that could actually play on PBS or something like that. And then I have to admit that I was a big skeptic about Kool and the Gang. It was like, can't we get somebody like fresher or older, like from the, you know what I mean? And they were amazing. So I don't know, Commissioner Gruber, if that was you or Ricky or Rhythm Foundation, but whoever had that idea, it was perfect. I mean, the crowd went crazy, and they were so great. And the whole night was, the whole weekend, the whole week, the whole month, really the whole year. It's been wild. And so I wish everyone who has poured their heart and soul into this a restful holiday season. And lastly, I just want to mention, I had staff share with you the executive summary for the solid waste master plan. If you have a chance to go through that, I'll be working with Joseph, bringing back any concerns to the Solid Waste Authority. You'll see that there's really not a lot of intention to invest in large capital facilities. We're going to try to take the inventory of things that are available throughout the county now and make them work to a maximum capacity for all the cities together, because we just feel like, we feel like if we can work together, then we can create efficiencies, and that's so much about what the report is about. So very excited to have that move forward. I had told Ray Lynn that we'll be coming back to this commission in a few months with an amendment that the ILA will need for facilities. It's called a facilities amendment, but there's not going to be any new facilities. So it should be pretty straightforward. So I'm excited to have the county's solid waste be looked at as an asset and not a liability, and that's the direction. I just want to say thanks to Joseph. It's really been good to have somebody on our staff that knows so much about all of this. So that's it. Happy holidays, everybody.
Carol, quick question on the solid waste master plan. So for the 9 years I've been mayor and following the dissolution of the Resource Recovery Board, there was a leftover property that was kind of like shared by all the cities, including Hollywood.
Out on 27.
Called the Alpha 250 site. I believe it's in Pompano. Was there any discussion on whether or not you all envisioned needing to retain that property?
Is that the one next to Monarch?
I believe so.
Yeah. So yes, retaining it, but not building anything there. So that's my understanding. And then there's a huge property out 27. And at this point, I think there's a lot of different interests vying to use that county property. I know there's people looking at various things, but one of the large components of this master plan is to extract organic materials from the waste stream, and so industrial level composting. And if you can get compostable materials out of our waste stream, that's like, it's a crazy percentage. It's a crazy high percentage. And it will allow us to have landfill space for other materials that can't be composted for years to come. So take a few minutes, take a look, share any questions that you have with Joseph. He's on the TAC committee, and he recently hired Sharon. I don't know if she's here, but we're very excited to have her too. She seems also to be someone with a huge background in recycling. So
All right, great.
all going well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Hernandez.
Thank you, Mayor. It's funny you mentioned about compost. I was just talking to Joseph yesterday regarding some of the composting for the yard waste that is going to some of the nearby recycling center, that they actually use the mulch for fuel. But yet, if you take the fines out of it, that's something that people are looking for, and it makes a better quality mulch for fuel. And it's interesting that you mentioned that, because that's a huge percentage. Yep, correct. First, United Neighbors, Thursday, the 18th, at McNichol at 7 p.m. They're looking to do a Christmas celebration, if you would, for everybody to come out. Please come out. Thank you, Helen, for putting that together for us. The 100th year celebration that we had at Arts Park, Young Circle, as I call it, was the best event that I've seen in many, many years. The snow was the hit. I've never seen so many kids waiting, young kids and old kids, waiting patiently to actually go down the slide. They had a great time. Parks and Recs, you guys did a great job. Joanne, you guys did a great job advertising it as well. Javon, thank you for highlighting the parking where it was available. That was the first time we actually saw those concrete blocks with arrows where parking was. But the unsung heroes here that I think that come about that nobody has mentioned so far is the fire department and the police department. They kept the place very safe and basically close-knit. Everybody knew where everybody was at. Wherever you turn around, you either saw firefighters or you saw police officers that were walking around, they were in key places. And, Parks and Recs, great job. Joseph, Crow, you guys, everybody worked together for a celebration that showed. And the residents that went to it, particularly the free parking as well, everybody was happy. So whenever we have an event like this, we should try to all come together and work in a symbiotic relationship with the businesses and the residents in every department that we have in order to make something that we can all be proud of. But I think the celebration was awesome. And having said that, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, prosperous and healthy New Year.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice Mayor forgot something, so before the new Vice Mayor speaks, she can finish up. Go ahead.
Quick, I just totally forgot to promote the story time in the park is back. And so once a month, we read stories. We give away books for kids to take home. We're having one this Friday at the Washington Park Community Center, 6 to 7:30. Thank you to both Parks and Rec and Communications Department for helping to promote it. Tell everybody to come on out. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Clary.
Thank you. Ditto to what everyone has said already. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year. I do also want to thank staff for an amazing centennial extravaganza. It was remarkable. We've set up here, we got to do something big, and Kool and the Gang was definitely the hot ticket. I mean, they were even on the Macy's Day Parade, so they had a busy week. Now my middle grandson sings Celebrate all day long, every day. It's his favorite song. But, it just shows that when we put our minds to something, it actually, the saying, build it and they will come. Well, they came, and it was amazing, and shows us what our future looks like, which is really, really exciting and amazing, and what's to come down the pipeline, and that we could actually pull it off. So kudos. I also want to thank the Hollywood Youth Ambassadors who they participated in the Christmas tree lighting. I think we had over 1,000 sand art and decorations, and they were occupied from the moment it started until we had to push them away. It was packed with kids, and it was just really amazing. They had so much joy, and the ambassadors were there the whole time helping out. So kudos to them for their community efforts and really stepping up to the plate, because if I had an additional 20, I don't even think that would have been enough to accommodate all the kids. So it was pretty exciting. In addition to that, 3 of our ambassadors will be here today to kind of update everyone on what they've done already and what's to come. And I just want to send a special thanks to Allison, Tamara, and Lauren for all of their hard efforts to make sure that this program is successful. You guys are amazing. I was ready to wave the white flag last year, and we kept it going. And thank you to all of you for your efforts in helping this program be so successful. I'm so proud. We're going to Tallahassee in January with them, so that'll be another exciting adventure. And they're just really remarkable students, and we learn from them every day. And I can't say that every year I talk about the Youth Ambassador Program and how it's so valuable, and to see how these students start off with a very non-understanding mindset of local government. And by the time they finish the program and they go on to be adults, and they still keep in contact with me and tell me how they're becoming. We have someone in the National Guard, we have someone in the Air Force, we have an attorney, we have a paramedic. I mean, it's just a multitude of amazingness, and they always revert back to the City of Hollywood and helping them, give them that foundation. So thank you for that honor. And then last, I'm humbled and honored to take the role as vice mayor, especially being my last year here. But, it's bittersweet because everyone is deserving of carrying that role. And my colleague, Commissioner Kevin Biederman, being his last year as well. I would never want to take away his limelight. So I don't know if my colleagues would mind that if at certain points when my duty as vice mayor, if cannot be fulfilled, and if I'm busy, I can delegate it to Commissioner Biederman to be my backup, because I think,
Alternate Vice Mayor Kevin Biederman.
Vice Mayor Kevin Biederman. So I think, listen, we all can go out on a high note. I think we've really dedicated a lot of time. Commissioner Biederman has he showed me, he has a proclamation of Kevin Biederman Day. What? So he's done a lot for the city, and it's from 2008, before we even started in this role. So he's obviously done a lot too, and I don't want to ever take away any limelight from any one of us, because we all do great efforts. But if you don't mind, if there's time with my demands and my job as well, that I'll depend on you to take the reins at certain times as well.
He accepts.
Yes, and that's why it's really amazing that we have such a great team up here. And so thank you so much, everyone. And have a safe holidays. Make sure you lock your doors. Be aware of your surroundings during the holiday season. Make sure that, people watch you go into your trunk and put those presents and shopping. So just be safe, because there are a lot of needs that are out there, and not that it's the right thing to do, but people are desperate, and we just need to make sure we're aware of our surroundings and we're safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Kaleri. Commissioner Shum, did you have something?
Yeah, just real quick, I wanted to follow up with you. With the Alpha 250 site, it is just west of the Turnpike in Pompano. And if you go to the solid waste website, there's lots of white papers and tasks, and the paper for task 6 identifies basically all the sites, and it does an analysis, and nothing's been determined, but they talk about that site in conjunction with biochar, composting, things like that, organic
It'll
use.
have a role. Okay, good. All right, so thank you all for your comments. Of course, like everyone else, I want to express my gratitude to the staff, CMed, Parks, everyone, for a great centennial finale, Joanne, Ricky, and company. Really great. I think the best part beyond the production and the attendance was the community pride that the residents expressed, and you saw it in their smiles and in their appreciation. It was really a finale to really celebrate the city. Everyone was there for the same reason. It really was what all was the Centennial Celebration year was about. But it wasn't only the finale, of course, it was many events. And so I know it took a lot of the creative thought and pride that our team has. I want to thank also the residents who participated in the Centennial Advisory Committee that was formed, the Historical Society, really everyone. Many of the clubs came together and contributed, and so it really was something to celebrate and definitely speak about during the upcoming State of the City address in January. Candy Cane was amazing. I do want to mention that just to kick off next year, and Joanne will be happy because it's not that the city's going to be lifting this, but January 3rd, Rhythm Foundation, with support of the Broward County Cultural Foundation, or Cultural Council, is hosting a Jamaica benefit concert here at the Arts Park on January 3rd. So this is hot off the press for New Year's weekend. Burning Spear is a legacy Jamaican artist who's 80 years old but still singing. He was during Bob Marley's times. So him and friends will be hosting this Jamaica benefit concert, so let's look out for information about that. And then soon after, there'll be the Ignite Broward, which will have a big display at the Arts Park with support from the city as well, and we know that was a hit last year as well, so really excited. We're really kicking off the year with exciting community celebrations as well, and good causes. That leads us to, I just wanted to mention for everyone to start thinking about the World Cup in the summer. I know that CMed already grabbed the lead and had an awesome reel that we all shared, inviting the different countries that'll be visiting South Florida for the Miami games. We know many of them will stay in the Hollywood hotels because we see the jerseys every time there's a big event at the Hard Rock Stadium, which is closer to Hollywood Beach than probably any of the other main hotel cities anywhere in South Florida. So we'll see a lot of World Cup action, and I was speaking with Mark Rowe, and of course we all know that Mickey Burns and just downtown business community has a great attendance. Tardis Colenias as well, the Colombian restaurant. A lot of great soccer viewership there. And so they'll get together a list of the big World Cup games, and we'll coordinate with the city. And obviously, you all agree we'll want to ask staff to activate downtown for as many of the World Cup games that we know are going to be big in South Florida. Team USA games, Colombia, Brazil, et cetera. A lot of great matches, and we'll have an opportunity to bring a lot of people downtown. So with that, could we just direct staff to work with the New Hibernians to create those awesome days for soccer, football in downtown Hollywood? All right, great. Thank you all so much. All right, let's go ahead and Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Merry Christmas, and Happy Kwanzaa, everyone. Let's go ahead to the city attorney with any announcements today.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Only one announcement. The city has been approached regarding a tobacco product waste litigation, and I would like to get the direction of the commission to enter into a litigation to address that. It would help with the cost of cleanup with tobacco waste products, including cigarette butts and filters and other non-biodegradable products. And knowing that the city has been impacted by this waste, I think that it's a very good opportunity for the city. It is on a contingency fee basis, and I think that it would be in the best interest of the city to enter this litigation.
Yes, ma'am. Great support.
Thank you all. No other.
Commissioner Clary?
I also wanted to just bring to the table, so last night, we're having the Pride Festival activities that are on our agenda, and since we are one of the first cities that supported and raised a flag, I wasn't able to attend the Ugly Sweater party last night, but I did attend the Gay Man's Choir, which I've attended for the past 14 years. It's been amazing. It's phenomenal. They use it at a little church, and they always used to ask back in the day. How I got involved is that we have a Hollywood resident who performed in the choir, and they always wanted to perform at the Arts Park. And so I don't know if I need support to see if there's any way that we could speak with them to see if there's some way we can get them to actually do a performance at our Arts Park. Since we were the first city, I think it would be follow along the lines of support, and it's one of the most beautiful events that I attend through my years. So I'm just asking for support if we need to have them.
Support.
Great, thank you.
I do want to mention, just in terms of performances, I was able to participate in the Hollywood Art and Culture Center had and still running, everyone in the public, is a show called Cymbeline. It's a Shakespeare play. And there are a few more nights of the performance. First time, I think, live theater adults in Hollywood are performing in, I was told, 25 years. So a great initiative by the Hollywood Art and Culture Center and other partner organizations that you can buy a ticket. It's called Cymbeline. You can find links on social media and in the Hollywood Art and Culture Center site and watch a Shakespeare play that, of course, is filled with, love, heartbreak, and pursuits of Romeo and Juliet type tragedy. So in the Cymbeline kind of way. So just take a look at that if you like. City manager.
Go ahead.
Sorry, George. I just wanted to ask if I could have a motion so that I had the authority delegated to me to enter into anything that needed to be done in pursuit of that litigation.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second to direct the city attorney and authorize the city attorney to enter into all agreements necessary to enter into the litigation regarding the cigarette butt and waste litigation.
Mayor, excuse me, who made the second, please?
Commissioner Shuham?
Thank you.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And by the way, one of the figureheads of this litigation is former Congressman Kendrick Meek. So it was great to have him get in touch with us and make us aware because, as Damaris said, we were very much an impacted city when it comes to cigarette butt waste.
Yeah.
Yep. If they wanted the poster of how is this causing a problem, we can invite them to Hollywood Beach. Despite all efforts, they're just every day, right? Every day. City manager.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, all members of the public and staff. As part of our Happy Hella Holidays wishes, the city's police and fire department toy drive continues right now, and it's good through this Friday. So if you would like to donate a new unwrapped toy, for donation. You can bring it to any of the fire departments throughout the city and stations throughout the city, and we will be happy to get that to local families in need. So much appreciated with your support on that. And speaking of holiday events and activities, if you go to the city's website, you'll see a number of listings, Christmas near the beach, SantaCon, Art Walk, Friday movie night, live music at the Beach Broadwalk, et cetera. A number of those detailed there, so please take advantage of that through the holidays as well. And then last, I'm going to ask the fire chief to come up with our brand new deputy fire chief. It's rare that you get curious stories to introduce, if not embarrass sometimes folks. The public safety director and the fire chief were talking to me recently, and they said, we need to schedule a final interview with you for our recommended top candidate for the new deputy fire chief position. And I said, sure. So we'll schedule it. And as an afterthought, really walking away, I said, what's the name? And they mentioned the name, and I started laughing. And they said, why are you laughing? And I said, well, flashback 30 years ago, and I think we have a picture to that era. 30 years ago, there was a 19-year-old kid dispatcher at Broward County that when I had the privilege of serving as the deputy public safety director with Herminio at Broward County, he was that 19-year-old.
Is that you on the left, George?
No, I'm not. I don't think I'm in.
I was looking at the hair and saying, hey, wait a second, is that a
I don't think I'm in this picture, but Mr. Mosier and Mr. Levy are there. So
Point them out. Hold on.
Look at Levy's on the back.
Levy's got hair on the left-hand side.
So here we are 30 years later in the
That's Levy.
circles, and obviously Mr. Mosier has grown a lot and developed a lot and is here, and I meant that professionally. And we welcome him, and he's going to do great things in terms of building our leadership team in the fire department. So welcome, Mike.
That's awesome.
I appreciate the embarrassing picture, but at least I'm not the only one in it, so. I'm excited to join you. I spent 25 years at the city of Coral Springs and was able to grow very professionally there, and I'm excited to bring that here to Hollywood. Chief Levy is an amazing fire chief, and I'm very excited to work with him.
Awesome. Well,
All right, well, we're happy that both of you are here and that you're leading our great group of firefighters and paramedics. So thank you so much.
You've come into a great department, so hopefully you can just hit the ground running and make things happen. Thank
Ready.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right.
And that was too much fun, so I'll conclude my comments there. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we are going to recess until 4 p.m. It is about 2:15 right now, and we will see you here for the final item on our City Commission agenda and citizen comments at 5. Thank you.